You ever stop and think about how a single name, just a word, repeated over and over, could actually have the power to change your reality? I know, it sounds almost too simple, but today we're going to dive into the really profound logic behind how sound and focus can tap into something much bigger and create some real transformation in your life. So let's just put it right out there. Can you really change your destiny by chanting a name? I mean, it's a huge question, right? It sounds way too easy. But the logic we're about to unpack, well, it suggests the answer is a fascinating and honestly a pretty powerful yes. Okay, so how in the world does this work? To get our heads around it, let's start with an analogy that's, perfect for our modern minds. Just imagine for a second that the entire universe is filled with invisible broadcasts, kind of like a metaphysical radio station. And this gets us to a core principle called myongjen-gi-dak. It's a fancy term, but the idea is simple. The name isn't just a label for a Buddha, it is the Buddha's virtue. It's like all their compassion, their wisdom, all their effort, compressed into this one potent form, almost like a spiritual energy crystal that you can actually access. And this is where that radio analogy really clicks. Think about it. Your voice, when you chant, that's the transmitter. The specific name of the Buddha, that's the correct frequency you're dialing into. And when you lock onto that frequency, the grace, the power, the compassion of that Buddha, well, that's the broadcast you receive. See? You're not just making noise. You're literally tuning in. So yeah, tuning that dial, that's your part of the deal. That's your effort. But here's the thing. That effort is only one half of a much, much more powerful equation. And this is where it gets really incredible. This practice isn't just about what you can do. It's about creating this amazing synergy, like the ultimate team-up between your own limited strength and an almost limitless power. So on the one hand, you've got self-power, or jaryuk. This is your sincere call, right? Your focused intention, your small personal effort. But that call instantly connects you to what's called other power, or taryok, this vast, immediate, and compassionate response from the Buddha that is just waiting to meet you the second you reach out. And this quote just nails the idea perfectly. Imagine you're facing this huge, impossible sea of suffering. Your own power, it's like a tiny little raft. But by chanting the name, you're not trying to row across by yourself. No way. You're signaling for and then boarding an infinite merit ship that can carry you across without any effort. Your tiny action harnesses a massive force. Okay, so that's the big metaphysical connection. But what's actually going on inside your own mind while all this is happening? How does this practice translate into real, actual psychological change? Let's look at this from a completely different angle now, using ideas from deep psychology. You can almost think of this as a way of hacking or, reprogramming the deepest layers of your own consciousness. At the heart of all this is a concept called the ālaya-vijñāna. The easiest way to think about it is like your mind's subconscious warehouse, or maybe even like its hard drive. Every single action, every thought, every intention you've ever had is stored in here as a little seed, just waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Now, for most of us, let's be honest, that warehouse is pretty cluttered. It's jam-packed with countless seeds from past negative actions and habits. And these are the seeds that eventually grow into the suffering, the anxiety, and the obstacles we face in our day-to-day lives. But here's the hack. The simple act of chanting a Buddha's name, it's like planting a brand new, incredibly powerful seed right in the middle of that warehouse, a seed of purification. And this one single potent seed has the power to completely transform the entire environment of your subconscious mind. And its effect isn't slow or gradual, it's immediate. This analogy is just beautiful, isn't it? Darkness, no matter how long it's been there, 10,000 years, it has no substance of its own. It can't fight the light. The moment a torch enters a cave, the darkness is just gone. In the exact same way, the light of the name is said to instantly dispel all that accumulated darkness of our past karma. So the practice itself kind of deepens over time. It all starts with vocal chanting out loud, mainly to focus a mind that's all over the place. Then it progresses to mental chanting, where the name becomes this silent, constant presence inside your head. And the ultimate goal? It's realization, that moment of awakening when you realize that you and the power you're calling upon are actually one and the same. And what's so crucial to understand is that this isn't some complex ritual for a select few. This method, is seen as one of the most direct and universally accessible paths to really profound change. And what's so important here is just how inclusive this whole thing is. I mean, look at this. There are no prerequisites. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, young or old, rich or poor. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, or how smart you think you are. The path is open to absolutely anyone. But there is one little catch. This isn't about mindless, robotic repetition. It's all about the quality of your intention. A single, powerful moment of complete, unwavering trust, that's the master key. That one moment of sincere focus is what has the power to melt away burdens that feel as heavy as a mountain. And that brings us to a final thought to leave you with. Let's just take this whole principle beyond its specific context for a minute. What if this were true for any deeply held belief? What single phrase, what name, what idea, if you spoke it with absolute, total trust, could have the power to melt away your heaviest burden? It's something to think about.